Alright, here for a 16th match on the play. And this hand is straight gasoline. Honestly, with the way we have, it doesn't seem that terrible. It's only when they like turn 2-3 us. Yeah, I agree. I think like post board, it's obviously good, right? Game 1 is not great, but like winning both post board games is like still hard. You know, even if the matchup's 70% in our favor, winning 2 post board games is still difficult. Our hand's really good. I would probably multi 5. Are we playing some mono white deck again? I think I'd rather Stomping Ground here than use the fetch. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter, right? No, I'd rather use a fetch in case I want to have 5 mana next turn. Broken mono white. I mean, I assume that's what they're playing. If they don't cast anything on turn 2, it's not very broken. Because it means they're doing nothing, ever. It is the mono white deck. Oh, that was a pretty good draw. What do you think? What do you guys think? Was that a good draw? This is a good one. Not even the slightest. I mean, the cascade was pretty shit, so I guess there's that. Please trade. Even if they have like intangible virtue here, I'm fine. Fine with how this is turning out. We can burn them out. We can just bolt their face over and over again. It'll just die all of a sudden. Do they not? If they don't have spectral procession, then they're just doing nothing. I like it when our opponents do nothing. It's really fun. I'm gonna be bolting their face, I think. Is that too aggro to bolt their face? I don't think so. I guess they probably have path here. Kill him dead. I think they have a path here, but I guess at least I mean, they're gonna nab this Clothis, I guess, but they gotta use on something eventually. If they don't have spectral procession, so I don't really care. Or intangible virtue. If they have virtue, I think they would have cast it. Yeah, the fact that we're just like drawing 2 cards here. Well, those 2 cards sucked. Path? No path. God bless, dude. You're just dead. You left yourself with 0 outs. I'm just never gonna animate the Clothis. And they can't win if I never animate it. Unless they find a way to like kill me this turn. No path, what do you opponent keep? They mulled a 5 to be fair, but I think our opponent conceded, okay. I was not sure whether I was gonna play the Pyromancer pre-combat or not and playing the path. I think my plan was I was gonna attack with Pyromancer and then post-combat I was gonna play Pyromancer. Yeah, I mean our opponent mulled a 5, didn't have path for our Clothis. Which honestly, like maybe a lot of time I'm just supposed to attack with the Bloodbraid Elf without attacking with Clothis. Let them block and then play Pyromancer post-combat. I think that's reasonable to do. Just making sure they can never kill Clothis. I think I'm supposed to do that more often than I have been. Want the Cinder Vines into Angers. Definitely not Blood Moon. We're on a draw, so I'm not... Oh, I was bringing in Kitchen Finks, right? Yeah. I was not bringing in Ooze, though, because they don't have creatures that go into a graveyard. It's just all non-creatures from them. I think on the play Pillage is fine, but on the draw I'm not a fan. Because their deck is mostly 2-drops. So like on the play, if you Pillage on turn 2, it's like a Time Walk, whereas if you Pillage them when you are on the play, it's not as good. Or if you Pillage them while you're on the draw, it's not as good, because they're just going to cast another 2-drop. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they must have kept like the double raise the alarm, or they played a gather first, right? Gather, like if they kept gather, raise the alarm, virtue, double land, like that's a pretty good 5. This hand sucks. It has 4 force in it. This is weird to look at. If one of these was a stomping ground, I would keep it because we could cycle stuff with the Pyromancer. Our opponent also mulliganed. I think this hand's worse than a 5. Like, if we draw a 3rd land, playing the Pyromancer is not bad, but yeah, that'll help buy a lot of time. I think we're better off going to 5. Well, deck. Hopefully you have some good cards for me on the top of my deck. AKA a land. Another land goes a long way here. Or that. That kind of works. It mainly works if we draw a land. Our opponent has a raise the alarm? Or this is like a servo exhibition? It has to be something. If we draw a land, this is gonna be pretty sick. What are you doing, opponent? Nice. Dude, what is their opponent doing? Make red mana. Cannot bolt the Oriok champion, so we're just gonna pass. That is like Oriok champion's main draw, is the fact it has that pro red for this matchup. I am very scared of a Spectral Procession, if they have it. That was rude AF. We just drew another one anyways. Actually, I'm very fine with just them spending their mana that way. So I have to put the Utopia Sprawl on the Stomping Ground. Yes, okay. In order for me to cast everything in my hand. Normally you don't want to do this because of things like random things like Field of Ruin, but I have to do this in order to empty my hand completely. Which there's a decent argument of whether a 1/1's better than the Bolt anyways. Like, especially in this matchup. Not really sure what our opponent is doing at all. Feels like they're doing a whole lot of nothing. Nice token deck. I think our opponent's not keeping good hands. Cause like, our opponents have just never done anything. Yes, Stomp does indeed kill. Yes, you are correct. I think I stomped my Seasoned Pyromancer. So if I stomp my Seasoned Pyromancer, the path fizzles. Because it's no longer a creature. This is what we call the big brain play. The big brain play. My opponent said, wow. He said, wow, haha, nice. I wonder why they brought in Disenchant. Because, like, Blood Moon's obviously not good against them. We drew another Clothis, anyways. They have another path. Now if they have another path, it's just, like, pretty dirty. Because I just happened to draw a second Clothis. I'm gonna attack with the Fangs. I guess I'll attack with Clothis too, because why not? I think, in case they have Raise the Alarm, I don't want to attack with the Arbor Elf. They might also play around another Stomp. Alright, they're choosing not to play around it, which is more than fair. They have a bunch of nothing. Mono lands. It is Spectral Procession, they have a chance. Yeah. The card's real annoying. They still need to have some more gas though, in order for this to completely work. That's a pretty good draw. I mean, I'm not really sure that they can take 7 here. I mean, if they think they can, I'm very glad they didn't block. Is that his bolt? So I can exile the bolt that's in my yard. Does this thing have flash? I'm not sure why they did that when they did. So if I bolt a Spirit, then they have to attack with Auriok Champion to flip the Legion's Landing this turn. But what does that get me? It taps this down, so then they have 3 blockers. They block here, 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 but then they just gain 3 life anyways because of that vampire. So I don't actually get anything off of it, so I'm better off bolting this vampire. Wait, these have vigilance. When... Hello? My opponent said in chat, well, that was a misclick. Yeah, it's a pretty big misclick. If I attack with all 3 of these, he blocks here. Well, then he just like blocks here. So if I bolt this first, and I attack with all three of these, he has to go, he blocks here, he trades here. And he has 3 attackers next turn. But he goes to 1, and then he can attack with everything and then go back up to 2, and then die to the Colossus trigger. Unless they draw something to make creatures next turn. The alternative is... Well, if they trade with this, then they only have 2 creatures and they won't get to flip this. Block here, block here, block here, then they only have 2 creatures. But then they're not gonna die next turn. But I think they lose the long game if they do that. Because I can just attack again next turn anyways, right? Just holding back doesn't really do anything, is the big problem here. I think I'm supposed to do this. Yeah, so now the Legion's Landing isn't flipping, which is a big deal. They're not dying though, which is good for them. I also can't attack with Colossus anymore, but it's not like attacking with it was doing anything anyways. Just hopefully they brick this turn. Oh no. I think that's game. Unless I draw Anger. I mean, I still have draws, but that was really bad for me that they top decked that. That was gonna be bad for me even if I didn't attack. Yeah, we're drawing nothing but lands. Ay. So they're gonna go up to 7 next turn. I don't know how I win. If I drew like a Cinder Vines that turn, it would have been nuts. Whoa, really? Oh, they're protecting themselves from Anger. Man, if I draw Bloodbraid Elf, I think they're dead now. I'm still not gonna flashback the Pyromancer. It gives them too much life. Oh, I should have exiled the Bolt. I have Ooze in my deck. This is gonna give them 2 life. Unfortunately. We're doing things this turn though. Wow, that's huge. Alright, how do I wanna... How do I want to do this now? So, like, if I attack with both Elf and Colossus, I guess then I just go block here, so nothing happens. Like, I could force him to take 2 from the Sphinx and go to 6, but I don't think that's worth the attack. I think I'm just killing Intangible Virtue. It's either I'm killing Virtue or I'm killing that landing. Because an aura attack with 3 spirits, that's gonna tap them down pretty low. If I attack with everything, I get 2 damage in, which puts them to 6, and then the Cinder Vines puts them down to 4. I don't think I'm supposed to attack with everything. I'm just supposed to pass. I am gonna go ahead and fetch though, in case they draw a disenchant or something in response to my fetch. Because I think I'm killing the Virtue. Unless they have another one here. Well, the Legion's Landing blocks a lot of damage every turn. But if I kill Virtue, they can't really kill me. It also makes Anger a live draw again. Because if I draw an Anger, I guess Anger would wipe my own board, but I think I would still cast it. Here, is it worth it to them to attack with 3 tokens to flip this Legion's Landing? I think the answer is yes. Otherwise, I'm just taking 16 in the air twice and I just die in 2 turns anyways. So I'm gonna kill the Virtue. Maybe I was supposed to attack last turn. Oh, they attack with nothing? That's fine by me too. I guess that's like the alternative, right? They either attack with everything or nothing. Would I put on the bottom of my deck with Bloodbraid? Another Bloodbraid? Okay, I'll fetch before I draw cards then. Oh, I should have tapped a forest instead of that mountain. That was bad. This Renin 6 does jack shit. There's no reason to attack, so I'm not going to. Oh god. That's not good. So I have a lot of really good draws. Oh, that's so bad for us. Holy crap. Wow, I did not expect Rest in Peace. Well now they don't have to be, well now if I draw a Bolt, they're dead. Wow, this Scavenging Ooze does literally nothing. Do I play the Ooze? They have 6 creatures. So if anything, I'm getting in with a point of damage. If I play Ooze, then I'm getting in with another point of damage. So it's the same thing. Playing and not playing it are the same. I guess that's true for the Arbor Elf as well. Well, I think it makes it so that they... Well, if they attack with these, and then they have 4 blockers, and one of them gains a life, so they can block here, 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 and essentially block this out, and then they take 3. If they draw a token producer, I think I lose anyways. Unless I draw... Well, Anger doesn't do it either. So I don't think I'm supposed to play the creature out. They're continuing to not attack, which makes Bolt a good out. They draw another Spectral Procession. Come on, dude. I guess I haven't been bricking, but I've also drawn a lot more cards than them and have card advantage in my deck. Well, now they just kill Ren. So I need to draw another Cinder Vines, basically. Anger doesn't do it. I need to draw Cinder Vines that exact turn, I think. He can just attack me in the air, which he should be doing. Okay, well. That's pretty brutal. This is a really good game, but... We went from I thought we couldn't lose to we're pretty dead. Just the spells we drew at the end puttered us out. Just Elf and Ooze just weren't what we needed. We needed to draw a Bolt. They needed to attack with 3, but it's not gonna matter. Our opponent's just not getting punished at all, no matter what their plays are. I mean, I don't think there's anything in my deck to punish them, so it's also fair. Yeah, like if I, like now that this turn them drawing the land doesn't do anything. I don't know why they're not attacking with 3. The opponent doesn't know how to play their deck. Wait, we were just dead that turn in the air. And our opponent just didn't kill us. I guess Glorybringer? Well, I don't think Glorybringer does it either. I don't know, man. We can hit an Anger off of this Bloodbraid Elf. No! No, 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 no! I needed to hold control. No! Oh, in real life this would be so good. No! Man. Damn it. I hate the way Moto works sometimes. I went to hold control and it was too late. And we should have been super dead that game anyways. Oh man, that sucks. I'm gonna resubmit. Man, that sucks. we hit the one outer, but I couldn't, I guess, hold control in time for Moto to decide I was holding it. Oh well. I probably should have won that game ages ago anyways. This hand's not, it doesn't ramp, but Cindervines is very good in the matchup, and so is Clothis, so. Ah, that sucks. We hit the ad, but I mean, there's still a strong possibility we just wind up losing anyways. I'm gonna fetch to keep thinning. Maybe we're not supposed to in case of Rest in Peace though. But if they take their turn off to play Rest in Peace, I think I'm pretty happy. They could disenchant here. We need to stop drawing lands. I mean, we're gonna have Clothis to refuel, so that's gonna help, but man, that was so janky. I should have won last game because of that anger. Our opponent should have just won a million years ago though, but punishing is a part of the game. Oh no, a second champion? It's not good. Winning through double champion is gonna be really hard. Like, the kitchen fix is gonna help, but I guess we'll both gain 2. Hopefully our draws off Pyromancer are really good. We need to assemble Stomp plus Anger in order to win this game, I think. They exiled a Force that casts Force. Luckily we can kill it with Cindervines. I'm not in a rush to do that, because they're probably not going to attack with the Warrior Champion anyways. Is Spectral Procession? Gross. Oh god. Is gain 6. Hopefully they attack. I don't think they will, but can always hope. I think I'll just kill it now. Nice. Man, that makes it so I really don't want to cast Pyromancer though. I guess I could discard land Clothis. Is Discord working for me? I mean, I'm not really sure. It's kind of hard for me to check while I'm playing, but I mean, like, I'm able to open it. It seems like more people than usual are offline, so there's probably something wrong. Like, it looks like a lot of people are offline. Well, not really. I don't know. You could also probably like go to Twitter or Google or something. Alright, our Aquathis is now just a meat stick. Our opponent is about to get hyper blown out. I'm gonna... Man, if I do this to the spirit, I'm kind of afraid of them pathing it. But I think I'm still supposed to. Alright, that'll kill the champions. The secret mode on Stomp of damage can't be protected makes protections not work. What the hell? Create 2 1/1 birds. Flashback. Well, flashback doesn't work very well with Rest in Peace in play. Man, having extra birds they can make is annoying. Alright. See if we can draw some more gas here. That counts. That definitely counts. Nice. I'm gonna go to combat and just see what they do. That stomp was huge. If they didn't block with the second Aureox champion, I was just gonna let damage go through and not stomp. If we think this is popular for the super, will we make sideboard adjustments? You remember how I was talking about playing Chandra's Defeat the other day? We could not play Chandra's Defeat if this is a popular deck. We would have to have the double anger. I wouldn't change anything though. That's just like a... We can't make that change, is all it is. I wouldn't do any other changes though. Unless like... Alright, we've got there. The stomp was insanely good there, and yeah, we beat up this deck 3 times. It's supposed to beat the Gruul matchup, but I guess we're also drawing well, so I don't know. But yeah, we're 15-1. I'll be back for the next one. Alright, so we're back for round 16, or I guess it's 17 now, sorry. And on to play. This hand doesn't have enough gas in it. If it had one more good spell in it, I would keep, but it doesn't have enough going on. Oh man. I kind of want to keep it and just hope to get lucky. I probably mold a 6. Like, we have the bolts to, like, buy us time, and then our 3 drops are really powerful. I think it's worth the risk, so I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna put back the Bloodbird Elf. I put Mold to 6 too. I think this is worth the risk because we have the double bolt to buy time. And if we rip it off the top, then well, that's just game. If we're playing against like a control deck though, this hand's very bad. Hopefully we just rip it off the top. Also, mulligan at 5 with this deck is not very fun. 15-1. Yeah, dude, the deck's been insane. This doesn't even count the fact that I went 18-2 in leagues before I started doing these ManaTraders matches. Are we playing against Storm again? Matchup's not very good. Keep it up. That's the plan. Hopefully we just rip a land right here. Well, I guess we have triple bolt. Yeah, I mean the deck's been insane. This matchup's awful though. I was hoping we'd be against a creature deck of some sort. Like, if we're against Burn or Prowess, this would be perfectly fine. We'd actually be in a good spot. Like, triple bull in those matchups is so good. But we're not gonna beat Storm at this rate. We're just gonna die instead. I still don't want to play a Bolt. Maybe we should have. Alright. We have a good poker hand. Yeah. Storm matchups poop. And when I saw this Fire Buff Canal, I was really hoping they were just gonna play the Swift Spear. Oh well. It gets a lot better post-board, but pre-board the matchup's pretty atrocious unless you get to a really fast start. Like if we drew the third land immediately, I think we would have been fine. I have to put cards into their graveyard. The Manamorphose, I guess, and probably a ritual. I guess the Desperate Ritual. Yeah, like it seems like Blood Moon was gonna stop basically anything they were gonna do. But they have remand? Okay, well. I mean, we could have mulled 5, but I think the keep is still fine. It's just did not turn out. I'm not gonna make them do anything. I'm just stone dead. I'm like just dead that turn. God bless. There's so many cards down. Oh well. And 9 cards down. We're gonna board like we did last time. The cages, Cindervines, the Abrades. Oh yeah, and Discover. I forgot that Veil Summer stops gifts. I don't think Clearburn is okay, but it's not great. Running 6 doesn't do anything. It would have been good that game, but it's traditionally doesn't do much. Blood Moon's not great. I think I was like cutting Chandra, like a Glory Bringer. You don't really need the card advantage from Seasoned Pyromancer in this matchup. I don't know, maybe we're supposed to mull to 5. I just think that in most matchups that hand's gonna be fine. Just because the decks you're afraid of dying against are early, or like the Tron decks, which the only way we win is if we Blood Moon. And we have a bit of time to draw the Blood Moon. This hand sucks. This hand's pretty good. I'm gonna put the Abrade back. Let's grab a Stomping Ground. The reason Veil's good in this matchup is because it counters Gifts Ungiven, because Gifts Ungiven targets the opponent. Oh, that's not good. We need to draw a third land. That's not bad. But post-board, they go on the Empty the Warrens plan, which sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I feel like most of the time it doesn't, but I'm not going to fetch because I want the maximum number of lands possible in my deck. They bottom topped. I'm not veiling. Maybe I should veil just for the cycle. But I think most of the time they're only going to be able to kill us through this cage if they have repeal. So I want to keep the veil. I think I just draw step. It's unfortunate. I don't know, maybe that's greedy. And I'm not gonna do it this turn. If I'm not doing it the previous turn, I'm not doing it this turn either. I think I pass again. I think I want to wait till I have 4 mana. I think they have a remand in their hand. This like draw go pattern is very bad against the Empty the Warrens plan, but we're secure against everything else. Hard cast Gifts Ungiven? Nah. So I don't think they have Gifts in their hand, because I think they would have done it on that end step point right there. Alright. So we're gonna see some fireworks go here. Hopefully it's not Empty the Warrens related. I can cast Bolt again before... I guess they want the cycles. I don't know if they have some type of stupid free stuff, but I'm gonna do it before they get a chance. Yeah, I mean, I guess all it takes is them going land ritual empty and I'm just gonna lose. Did they choose not to loot? You always loot. What? Is that how dead we are? They just opted not to loot? Dear lord, if that's like the state that we're in, we're just so dead. I don't think this deck is that popular, and I mean, we played against it twice today, but if this is our bad matchup, which it is one of the bad matchups, I'm not gonna complain that much. Does he have double grape shot? How's your Adnons matchup? The artifact removal helps a lot. Like, there's a lot of artifact removal in the deck, so it helps. I don't think it's terrible. It's not the best. Like, you wouldn't choose to play against it, but I don't think it's the worst either. Artifact removal combined with the... Like, if you have both Blood Moon and Pillage in an opening hand, you're probably gonna win. Dude, they drew both grape shots? Alright. Alright, well, there's nothing we could really do that game. We could have veiled and tried to draw a land sooner, but then I think we died to other game plans. This was just very unfortunate the way it played out. Yeah. Both of our losses are to Storm, so hopefully we just don't play against any more of it and crush the rest. Alright, here for round 18. Hopefully we're not playing against Storm again, because we apparently cannot beat that deck. But we can beat everything else. That hand just didn't do enough. This hand, on the other hand, does things. I'm gonna bottom the mountain. Yeah, I'm gonna fetch a basic forest here. I guess then we're not gonna have double red after we Blood Moon. Just please no Storm. I don't want to deal with Storm anymore. Polluted Delta. Yeah, we're gonna punish. I'm getting punished here. We didn't need double green. Jam Blood Moon and see what happens. If we're playing against Dash Out, they might have like Stubborn Denial for this. Who knows what we're playing against? They grab a basic island. They drew basic planes too. We cannot cast the Season Pyromancer. It's very unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know why I felt like I needed double green. There's no double green spells in the deck. I misplayed kind of hard. So their draw for turn was the opt. Because they would have opted they would have opted last turn if they had it. For mana efficiency's sake. And I can't untap the Stomping Ground because it's no longer a forest. Okay. Well, there's another red source. Not sure if I really want to discard this bolt. I guess the odds of me getting verdicted aren't very high. If they play a Jason Mindsculptor or something, he'll die anyways. But now I can get mana leaks, but if they use mana leak here, I'm not sure that I care. Yeah. I guess I lose out on a lot of cards, but I also I don't want to, I don't want them to be able to use a Snapcaster to trade with Arbor Elf. That's why I like having the Bolt. That was a good draw. Or I could have just not cast the Pyromancer that turn, which is probably the smartest move. Let's attack with 1. So much punt. Yeah, I mean, I think it's... like, I'm not too upset about the... Man, like, the real punt is them having 3 basic lands in their opening hand. Probably not, Kevin. I think that can cause a huge spew in value. I'll have to do the math, but I think that's like a big spew. Potential spew. I mean, it's no guarantee that it spews value, but I think it's a decent enough chance. I think I grab a forest. No. Yeah, I could have led Pyro before attacking, but I want to save this for a Snapcaster. I don't want them to be able to use Snapcaster to trade with Arbor Elf. So if I Pyromancer and then discard Bolt, I mean, then I can just like not attack that turn, I guess. I just don't want that trade to happen, basically. And I'm not too upset about the mana leaking. Well, no, I really don't want to get their Snapcaster value. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think giving their Snapcaster value is bad. They're fate sealing us? That's annoying. Hopefully they put it on the bottom, because if they keep it on top, then that means we're drawing a bad card. They put it on the bottom. That was a good draw. That was actually a really good draw. Let's kill this Jace. Dude, this guy... Had 4 basic lands in his opener, basically. Hasn't drawn a single fetch or hollowed fountain, and then rips Terminus off the top at that point in time. That's really obnoxious. Classic Miracles player. I guess, dude. Must be nice. Putting really bad cards in your deck and drawing them at the right time instead of the wrong one. I guess I should play the land. I mean, I kind of don't want them to know that I'm bricking, but... I'm just waiting for like a cryptic to happen. Cryptic bouncing Clothis draw a card would not be the best. Here it is. Oh, they bounced a Blood Moon? Sure. Oh, they're gonna Mystic Sanctuary and put it on top of their deck. This guy's really fun. I'm not sure how much I really care. Like, they have to be able to deal with this Clothis. They can't even Cryptic and Archmage's Charm in the same turn. That's so funny. Unless they have like a mana leak in hand and they're gonna like, I don't know. I could try to snag the opt and make them like snap opt right now, but I don't want them to snap opt. I just keep dealing them 2 points of damage. Yeah, this is like only bad if they have mana leak. Sure. Are they gonna bounce draw again? They didn't even want to get more basics with their Field of Ruins. They didn't want to convert them, which is really weird. Unless they're bouncing Blood Moon again. Sure. Omen of the Sea. They topped. That's not great. I don't really know what's coming, but it's probably not good if they're going top. They kept an island. Okay. They just have another cryptic, I guess. They bottom topped. Well, they kept the card they already put on top is what that was, right? Or no, that was a new card that they... I have another cloth in my hand, so I'm kind of hoping they counter this. Sure. They can't cryptic because they didn't Field of Ruin us that one turn. Dude, you can't cast that. Our opponent has the biggest brain I've ever seen. Do they think they can cast it? Dude, you can't cast it. Is this something else? So they cast their Snapcaster and then they logic knotted. Sure. Our opponent's gonna feel real bad whenever I just cast this other Colossus from my hand. So I can stomp him or I can just pass. I don't care about the Snapcaster one bit. I'm just gonna stomp him. That's bad if they have a Planeswalker though. Yeah, I'll just pass. They bottom. Nice Terminus. Oh, Entreat? Okay. Well, you can't cast it. Because your mana base is great. They don't even have double white even if the Blood Moon didn't exist. I think I get rid of the Cryptic now. If they have a Snapcaster, I want them to, like, use it right here. Because then I can actually get an attack in with Colossus. Unless they bounce the Colossus. Alright, cool. I don't think I have a reason to cast this Utopia Sprawl or the Bone Crusher. I think I just keep chilling. Guess I do this. Make more red mana. I don't have a reason to cast the Bone Crusher. I want them to think they have more turns than they actually do. You hope you play against, you won't play against players like this in the Super, you know it. Have you played in Supers before? Those Super PGQs are some of the hardest events I've ever played in. Honestly. I'm not sure if it's like the hardest, but like definitely one of the hardest events I've ever played in. Where are they minusing? On Colossus. You're playing the elf deck? Why not play a good deck? In case they have a logic nod, I'm not gonna stomp. Why do they have a stop in our upkeep? They're so stacked, yeah, dude. They're the hardest events I've played. Like, I am very surprised that I was able to top 8 multiple of them. Like, they were so difficult. Like, the average player in those events is probably like, I would say like top of the tables at GPs, like old GPs, whenever everybody used to go to them. Like, that's how stacked I would put them. I think the next card is Clothis. So, get the boy out early. I'm just gonna hold the bolt. Especially, I'm not sure if you play Legacy, but if you played the Legacy ones, those I think those were the hardest ones of the ones I played of all the formats. The limited ones may have been more difficult, but I didn't play in them. But the okay, our opponent's dead. Our opponent could have definitely won that game. But they made a lot of really small mistakes that cost them the match. In terms of sideboarding, our boy Thrun, for sure. I like Veil of Summer. I think I'll bring in Cindervines. It can actually target Omen. They play Counterbalance, which can be really annoying for us. Also, it does a lot of incremental damage, and they have no way to really gain life outside of if they bring in Timely Reinforcements. I like the Ooze. I'm gonna take out Bloodman. Pill. Again, I've been kind of Glorybringer trimming it down against the control decks because of how mana efficient it is compared to their answers. It just doesn't scale very well. I mean, I don't think Pillage is great against. It's not bad against them, but it's not great. But like, if you kill their planes, it really messes them up. Maybe we'll trim 1. It's not a very good late game top deck. Or maybe I'll cut an Arbor Elf actually. Yeah, let's try an Arbor Elf in this matchup. Like, you're bringing in Cindervine, like, against the Bant decks, I don't like to do this because I don't bring in Cindervines, but when you bring in Cindervines, you have those extra 2-drops that help you curve out, even when you don't have things like Arbor Elf. They also play Terminus and more sweepers, so maybe we just actually trim 2. Yeah, I like the look of this. Yeah, I'm actually like looking forward to there being a super on Sunday to play in. I think that'll be really fun. I will be streaming it. I'm not scared to stream the big events and like worry about ghosting or whatever. No. any of that. Because stopping Sanctuary. That's fair. Stopping Sanctuary is a big deal. This hand's not great, but I am going to keep it anyways. Mulliganing in this matchup's not very good, and we have stuff to do. Our opponent's going to have the all non-basic draw this game, watch. Yeah, but Sanctuary is that big of a deal, right? Dude. I really didn't want to draw all 3 Scavenging Oozes. We drew all 3 Oozes. I want to draw like a 3-drop threat, not another Ooze. Please counter my Ooze. I have so many. Why is this stack like all the way down there? They have Spell Snare. Field of Ruin. Well, hopefully they don't have Force Negation, because we will, like, just die. Nice. They did not have it. No, I think like stopping Mystic Sanctuary is relevant enough. Like based on the way this game is playing out, Blood Moon would be way better because of the late game prospect. Like here, the pillage just feels like it does nothing. Like I know it does a little something, but it doesn't really do that much here. I guess we'll kill this for fun. Are they gonna counter this? Why do you care? They have a big Teferi next turn, I guess? I'm just trying to play up my hand so this Pyromancer is good. You just get the Miser non-basic draws. Yeah, for sure, and like... I mean, even we saw last game, they had 5 basics and they still like couldn't really function. Ugh. That was a good draw. I just want to ping. Does pinging make sense? Well, if I ping, I can't really attack with both of them. Nah, I don't think there's a reason to ping. I'll just plus. Also, if they like Terminus while we have Ren and 6 in play, I'm like pretty happy too. This is really awkward because I don't really want to play the third Ooze, but I guess I'm supposed to. I guess if they Terminus, then they're going back on the bottom anyway, so I can get one later. I really don't want to shock myself again. I guess I should have attacked first. We have an army of oozes. I guess they're just gonna path the ooze I have in play and then swing at Ren, which is fine because then we're getting more damage in. I really don't want them to draw that, so they're not going to. They're not allowed to. What are you gonna cast in response, dude? I don't... Okay... I just really don't care. Really don't care what our opponent's doing. Are they gonna attack with? I guess they could have another timely here, but I think that's fine. Like, I don't care that much about this Ren in 6, to be quite honest. Sure. How do I want to do this? So with the trigger on a stack, I stomp. Yeah, let's do that. I guess I should attack first again, right? Well, no, because I might want to protect the Ren. Well, if they choose to like take like 7 or whatever, I think I'm just fine with that. Yeah, like if they choose to take that damage, I'm pretty okay with that outcome. So if I see the Pyromancer and then they like mana leak it, well, they won't leak it. I guess Aether Gust it. It doesn't take much for me to leave behind. I think just dealing them damage makes the most sense though. Like putting them to 12 or whatever is fine. If they attack all out to kill Ren at 6 and then they have to cast a Verdict, it's not a great spot for them to be in. Yeah, I'd rather that sequence of plays happen, so I'm just gonna attack with everything. And by all means, like I'm happy if they block and I'm happy if they don't block, which probably means I should just attack. Because dealing points of damage to their life total is relevant. Alright, so the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to Pyromancer, and then if it resolves with the trigger on the stack, I'm going to stomp. I'll just stomp one of these little tokens. Alright, now we have a free draw too. Chandra, nice. And could minus, and it has the same effect as taking up, or no, it doesn't. They can just attack all out, but then they just like die on the swing back. Whereas this way, they have to have a path. And I think the land's actually good for us here because we have this Chandra. Their land also prevents Snapcaster shenanigans. As long as I don't fetch, like, just randomly fetch. That's fine. So I'm not gonna trade the Arbor Elf off, and I'll just use the Pyromancer to eat a soldier token. Though it is tempting to just trade with the Snapcaster with the Pyromancer so that I have a that's in the yard for me to do something with later on. Like post sweeper, I have 2 1/1s. You also have to attack with Snapcaster. Okay. Yeah, like if they go plains terminus, how bad is it? I don't think very. So I'll just get this value off. Threaten to do a lot of damage next turn. Because if they terminus and then I get to land a Chandra, I'm pretty happy. Chandra plus Bone Crusher Giant. Alright, I'm just gonna go combat here. They have a Cryptic, they kind of need to tap my team, I think. Oh, they're just letting me attack, that's also fine. I'm not gonna cast the Chandra unless they tap out here. They're gonna let themselves go to 2. Okay. I'm gonna cast a Bone Crusher and see what they do. They can't target this thing, so their play might be a Terminus anyways, which means I shouldn't be casting it. But as is, we don't have lethal on the board. Okay, I'll put it on top of my deck. So they have to Field of Ruin to shuffle our deck and top deck Terminus and have a counter for Chandra. Basically, I'm just gonna cast another Giant. Or no, I think I'll just pass on this. Or I can play the Arbor Elf, and that represents lethal as well. Yeah, let's do that. We have a lethal spell on top of our deck. A lethal spell in hand. They're drawing 2, so they're trying to get there, I guess. So they then top deck Terminus. Okay, do they think I'm stupid? I guess that's possible. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I guess it's pretty easy to accidentally hit OK. Do they have a third one in hand? Even if they find Terminus here, they're dead. So GG's. Alright. So that 16-2 locks us for a leaderboard, essentially. 80% win rate is typically going to be... It's going to put me at least in the bottom 10, basically. But yeah. We'll see if we can climb higher, though. We keep winning a better price. Alright, guys. Here for round 19. And this hand is very weird, but I'm going to keep it. Utopia Sprawl is pretty safe mana for the most part, unless we're in the mirror and they draw a pillage, but we're gonna draw. If we draw a second land, our hand is turbocharged. Hard to say no to this. Wow, somebody very smart in playing the mirror. Oh, we're not. We're playing Steam Vents. This hand's not very good in this matchup. Okay, that's very helpful. I think I'm still best off Utopia Sprawling here. And I can name green and then play Sprawl Elf. And then we're gonna be able to cast Blurbringer. The pillage is not super useful in this matchup anyways. And if we really need to, we can still cast it. We just have to put the Sprawl on the Stomping Ground. Oh god. This is dangerous. Wish we had an Anger of the Gods right now. I don't think pillaging is gonna help here. I feel like I just have to hope that they have nothing. Their hit draw is disgusting. Jesus Christ. I think we're just dead here. Unless their hand is bad. They kept a hand with no non-creatures in it. Probably not the case. They put the card on top. It was very bad for us. They had Gut Shot? Oh god. They have a Bolt? I guess the Pillage plan would have worked because it seems like they don't have another land. Alright, well. We just died on turn 3. I don't think the pillage plan works very well, but okay. I guess it would have worked out though. I mean, they were gonna deal 15 to us that turn, even without the opt. So we would have been at 1 life. Yeah, so we were just dead that game. There's literally nothing that we could do. Their draw was just too insane. If we were on the play that game, we would have been fine, I think, but not the case. Alright, against the prowess decks, like the Finks, like the Anger of the Gods, it breeds very good. They bring in the removal, Scavenging Beast helps gain life. Probably not gonna bring in Thrun. Blood Moon's Pillage is not good. Not the biggest fan of Ren and 6 either. Ren and 6 does kill Sprite Dragon though. When you're on a play, that's pretty relevant. I'm not gonna bring in this guy. Shave 1 Ren. Chandra's not that great, but it's better against the blue versions because you need to find a way to kill Stormwing Entity. The flying will beat you up. Alright, I'm gonna play first. The hand curves out decently. If they have a Gut Shard or Mutagenic Growth to protect their turn 1 creature, it's not very good, but going turn 2 Stomp into turn 3 actual Cast Giant is not bad. Is good enough to keep. If we're on a draw, I would mulligan. But since we're on a play, we get to do this. Just getting some F6 value here. We need to stop drawing lands though. I'm gonna stomp now while they're tapped out. See if they have a Sprite Dragon here. Would be pretty good for them. Unless we draw something. Drawing some more removal would be nice. Oh, they can Stormwing Entity now. Yep. I'd like to draw if we can draw a removal spell here, it'll be Gas. Or a Clothis. They bottom topped. A Braid is pretty gas. Let's play Windswept Heath. I'm gonna braid this now. Again, while they're tapped out. Sick. That was a really, really good draw. If we didn't draw that, we were gonna be in a decent amount of trouble, I think. Now I am a much bigger fan of our spot. We've operated like a Jund deck this game. We've killed 2 of their creatures and we're gonna play a Bloodbraid Elf. Do this. Hit another removal spell, nice. It's really, really good for us. They're probably gonna protect this one if they have like double opt or something. Yeah, so they have an opt here. Or they just bolt us. Put the card on the bottom. Yep. I'm not gonna attack, I'm just gonna hold this Bloodbraid back. Alright, they still have 4 cards in hand, they still have a lot going on. If we're able to get this Glory Bringer off next turn, though, we're gonna be in fine shape, I think. They put both cards on the bottom. That's really good for us. I'm gonna block. I think I'll force them to play something. If it's an opt, it's kind of a feel bad, but okay. Yeah, I mean, it forced them to use a bolt out of their hand. They only have 2 cards in hand. Right. Hopefully we don't die next turn. And play Glory Bringer and exert it on this Stormwing. There's a decent chance that we die. We've had to fetch a lot this game. We fetched 4 times this game. Are we dead, opponent? I don't like that being the start. Double Bolt, double Lava Dart kill us. Well, they only have 2 cards left. Wow, they puttered out. It's huge. How many creatures are in New York? 4. I think I'm just gonna use it up instead of worrying about the Bone Crusher. Or the Clothis. Especially since I mean, they might have 1 bolt in hand, but they don't have 2. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, that Abrade top deck was very timely. I think we would have lost if we didn't draw it. But you put cards in your deck to draw them. Now here, I'm not gonna change anything, I'll leave it. We have to be a lot more careful with our keeps and moles when we're on a draw. We really need hands with lightning bolt in them. Like, having a hand with multiple lightning bolts will just win you the game in this matchup. A lot of the time. Not always, but they have card advantage with, like, light up the stage. I mean, this doesn't have multiple, but it does have the 1. And Pyromancer on turn 3 can really help clog up the ground. Typically, having the 1 bolt buys enough time. That was a good draw. I'm just gonna bolt now. See the Manamorphose into Stormwing. Oh, that card's spooky. You can make that thing really big really fast. My original plan was to Stomping Ground, but don't have to do that anymore. Make this make red mana. Hopefully they go like, I don't know, opt into Stormwing and then they don't have a Mutagenic Growth. That's not good. It's probably gonna become larger than a 3/3 now. She don't really have ways to kill. Please just play a Stormwing. They probably have a bolt though. Or if they have a lava dart, it's a disaster. They bottom topped. I mean, I've still got to do it. I'm priced in at this point. Yeah, I'm priced into doing it. Hopefully they don't have anything. If they have lava dart here, it's just big disaster. But I think that's just life if they have it. Damn it, dude. That sucks. We are dead. There's no way for me to deal with these flyers. This is the play draw difference, because if we were on a play, we do get to get better use out of this anger. We would have guaranteed killed this red dragon, then they just have an entity, and then we blood red elf. But now here, like, we're going to at least 7. And there's no way for me to kill this red dragon in my deck. I guess I can hope to hit something here. I don't even know what. That's not really it. I left myself without an out because I didn't leave a green source or a red source up. Yeah, we're dead. Alright. That was pretty rough. If we were on the play, we would have been a lot better off in game 1 or game 3. This matchup was very play draw dependent. Lost the die roll on the back foot in all instances. And sometimes that's magic. Hopefully we can get the last one so we can finish in the top 10 rather than the 11 through 20. Alright, we're playing our last match of our 20. We're playing for like a decent amount of money, I think. If we win, we're gonna be in the top 5. If we lose, we're gonna be in like the 15-ish range. The 15 to 20 range. We're gonna play kind of tight. That's the goal. And this hand's pretty good at doing that. Got a turn 2 Colossus in it as a rule spell. Shocking ourselves on turn 2 is not ideal, but can't complain too much. This guy's name looks familiar. I'm not sure if he's a big moto guy or if he just looks familiar. This hand's not very good in this matchup. That's not good. Still gonna cloth this. We can make 5 mana next turn. And we need to top deck a Pillage or a Blood Moon. Or Bloodbird Elf into one of them next turn. Unless we're playing as E-Tron. If we're playing as E-Tron, then I don't care. I mean, those draws would be very good against E-Tron too, but... which I would expect as E-Tron rather than regular Tron, because they didn't play a 1-draw, so they didn't play a Sphere or anything like that. Alright, I'm going to... we're gonna stomp and then... play Bone Crusher. Hopefully they don't have Wormcoil here. Hopefully it's just like E-Tron. Or Or they just don't have it. That could always work too. But they kept 7. So I would expect them to have it if they are playing regular Tron. Unless their hand's just like a bunch of Ancient Stirrings and Sylvan Scryings and they were like, oh, if we draw an egg, we're fine. But there's a map. So they're gonna have Tron the following turn. Okay, it's E-Tron. That's good for us. Draw something. That's a good something. I think I bolt them. Yeah, let's bolt them. Get that damage in. Gonna be getting a lot of damage in here. Especially if we hit some permanent spell. Any permanent's gonna unlock our Clothis, except for if we hit another one. A nigh permanent, but that is a lot of damage. Putting our opponent to 3. And putting a card in the graveyard, which is not irrelevant. You're gonna find the other Tron piece. They're gonna have 9 mana next turn, so they can go like Reality Smasher plus something. Like Smasher plus Thought Knot or something like that. But then if we draw any permanent, we're gonna win. Or if we just live to the following turn. Which next turn we can just hold back our guys. And they can't attack, they'll die. Like an Ugin the Spirit Dragon would be really bad. Or I guess they could have All Is Dust, right? But then we still have a lot of top decks. Oh, that's not All Is Dust. So you're gonna take our backup Clothis. They don't have All His Dust, they would have cast it that turn. And this is gonna put them to 1. I would have, any permanent would have killed, but which one did they search? They searched a mine. So that's the one I'm gonna kill. I'm just gonna pass. I think passing is better here. Like, we could attack with both, but then they get to flip Reshaper, but then we get a draw step. But they're also just dead this turn. If they let us untap. There's a Tech Edge. I think if I drew a land, I would have attacked with both. I don't know about that. Okay, I don't think him killing one of my lands is gonna matter. I think it's just messing around. Oh wow, yeah, that was gonna be nuts. Alright, we got the first game. Sideboarding. have a lot of artifacts in their deck. I'm not sure how many I really have to worry about. I like Red and 6 isn't that great. Everything else is really good though. As I can bring in a Braid. Red 6 isn't bad, but it's not the best. Thrun is really good though. It blocks all their creatures except for Smasher, and even then it can like soak up damage. But they get like artifacts and stuff from their little sideboard. What would I take out outside of Ren and 6? Everything else seems so good. I guess Bone Crusher's not the best, but the 4/3 body is really relevant. Lightning Bolt does kill the other dude. It kills their card after they minus it. But I guess outside of that, it doesn't do that much. So is it worse than... I mean, killing them is also a relevant thing, right? I think Ooze is good too. I don't think Ooze is better than Volta. We already have 2 in the deck. I think I want a Braid. Just the matchup is just... I guess this just goes to show like how decent, how good the matchup is. I can't really think of how else I would sideboard. Yeah. I think on the draw, Ren is a lot worse than on the play. So like on the play, I might bring back in Ren. I'm gonna keep it. The hand's not the best, but... It ran so I can play a 4/3 on turn 2. Not worry about stomping. 4/3s are pretty good against their deck. Roll to 6, I'm gonna keep. The only thing that Stomp actively kills, it can kill Matter Reshaper, but and Ballista, but killing Ballista doesn't really do anything. The Bloodbraid Elf is the main reason I'm keeping. Though maybe it's better than Mulligan trying to aggressively get to a Blood Moon. Maybe Blood Moon just ends the game. Oh, that was a good draw. I think that playing a 4/3 on turn 2 and then Bloodbraid Elf on turn 3 is good enough. And then just planning the kind of top deck the rest of the way. The deck does a very good job of top decking, so I'm not afraid to rely on that. Well, there's a Mind Stone. Braid would be good against that one too. Question of, I'm gonna kill that instead of the tower. Because later in the game the Mind Stone's probably gonna be better. They didn't play another Tron land, so I'm not super scared about getting Troned out. If they played a Mine or a Power Plant, I would have killed the tower. The double tower draw. Do they have a Reshaper? Well, there's a map. They can try to build up to Tron, or they can just grab Temple so that they can play a Smasher next turn. That's probably what they'll do. Alright, hopefully we hit something good off of this Bloodbraid Elf. I can get behind that one. gonna discard the Arbor Elf and the basic forest, because I think we're gonna want a third red source this game. Chandra Torch of Defiance, the card is very good. Can't kill Rai Smasher, but I can kill Thought Knot. But if that's their play, they're gonna take the Chandra anyways. They're dismembering instead of expedition mapping. That's really interesting. They're valuing their life total really highly, which makes sense. But that really opens the door to either A, they have another dismember, or B, they're just conceding to Glorybringer. They went and got a power plant. So I wonder if they have a mine in hand, and they just slow rolled the Tron. It's not like killing the tower would have done anything, they had another one anyways. I think I'm gonna play the Chandra this turn. Let's fetch up. Actually, I'm gonna shock myself. This is gonna allow me to cast a bolt if I hit it here. That's unfortunate. Can't cast that one. Do they have mine into All's Dust? If not, they're just dead. I guess not literally. They can go Smasher here and attack Chandra, but then I'll just attack them for 4, put them to 7, stomp them, put them to 5, and play a 4-3. Puts us in a really good spot. And the Blood Moon wouldn't have done anything, they had a waste. I feel like if they had a Smasher, they would have gone and gotten Temple. So I do wonder why they wouldn't grab Power Plant, if that would be the case. Unless their threat is Walking Ballista. Oh, Karn, okay. So they just... It really depends on what they get here. I can't actually cast this Blood Moon. This is like a bug with Chandra that's been around for a couple weeks. Oh, I forgot about Snaring Bridge. That's a big reason to have a Braid. We have a lot of reach in the deck though. Does that kill them? 2, 4, 7, 5, 3. Oh, puts them to 1. 1 is not 0. Okay. I'm just gonna 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'll just put them to 3. I'm not gonna worry about this thing. Dismember does the same amount of damage as the Glorybringer, so I don't care. I'm just gonna attack them. Alright, I mean, this looks really good. I'm not sure how we lose, but we can cast the 4 points of damage from our hand. I guess if they go Eldrazi Temple all is dust, then they're not dead immediately. Or if they have a mine, so if they have a mine, that's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mana. So then they could always dust and go down to 5 mana. But then they can't cast anything that gains life from their board. Unless they have something weird. Alright. We got there. We got there. Alright, so 17 and 3. That's an 85% win rate for the leaderboard. Which our opponent said. Yep. So I'm gonna pull over my ManaTraders. So that put us 5th on the leaderboard. For now at least. It is possible that we'll get passed up. Our tiebreakers are really bad. So if there's another person that creeps up with an 85% win rate, they will jump us, but can't complain about this performance. We'll see where we actually wind up. Qualifying for phase 2 already. That's really sweet. I'm not sure how much money there is for leaderboard. Oh, 5th through 10th is $100. So I can't jump up to 4th. So, and I doubt there's gonna be 11 85% winners or better. So locking up $100 is pretty nice. Yeah, I will take it. Yeah. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.